Alrighty, so this is going to be just a quick little mini video. I didn't want to make this a part of my overall update because I didn't want it to get lost in the mix, but I wanted to make a quick little mini video about hub-centric rings. And I'm getting ready to put these wheels on my car. When I bought them, I started doing some research into these, and it just like a lot of varying opinions on whether you actually do or don't need them. And there just doesn't seem to be a lot of really good, solid information. I watched a couple YouTube videos, and yeah, like they were mildly helpful. I'm not an expert on the subject. I am not an engineer. I'm just going to tell you what I know, and then you can make your judgment and move forward from there. Alrighty, so to start with, I guess we should start with why do you need a hub-centric ring? On the factory wheel, if you've ever taken your wheel off, you'll know this inner diameter of the hole in the wheel right here is machined or bent or built to perfectly sit on this lip on the hub right here. So when you put the wheel on, it's perfectly centered, you torque the wheel down, theoretically there should be no vibration or movement. On the aftermarket wheel, as you can see, that hole is significantly larger because that wheel is not specifically designed to only mount to this type of car. It is a universal aftermarket wheel to some degree. Each manufacturer has different sizes they use for the holes. It might even vary depending on the exact model of wheel. So the hub-centric ring, you'll see it has the beveled edge, similar to how the inner lip of this wheel is. And this is meant to sit over. It's meant to sit over this hub right here, and inside the wheel. And it is largely to take up the gap difference between the inner diameter of the wheel and the outer diameter of the hub. Reasons why you would need a hub-centric ring. Some people would argue that you don't need them. I've read a lot of people say they don't run them and they have no issue with them. That is a possibility. But given how cheap these things are, it seemed like pretty cheap insurance to make sure that the wheels don't vibrate. Because I also read a lot of people that said they didn't run them and they ended up having to go back and install hub-centric rings on their aftermarket wheels because they ended up with some kind of weird vibration at a certain speed or above a certain speed. And so it looks like this. It's got the lip so it won't go too far into the wheel. It's got a beveled lip on the outside to keep it from falling through the wheel. It's got the beveled lip on the inside to allow it to slide over the hub on the car. You can buy these in several different materials. They make a plastic. They have various metal ones. And I believe I've even seen like a hybrid composite one. There's arguments for and against all of them. The argument against the plastic one is some people say that if you're going to go racing with it, the theory is that potentially your wheel could, your brakes could get too hot and they could begin melting this. But I've also seen a lot of people say that they've more or less disproved that because they've run a car on the track with plastic ones. This is a pretty hard plastic, so I don't know. So that's kind of the good side of the plastic is they're extremely cheap and easy to replace. You could probably buy multiple sets of these and just keep them in the wheels if you had more than one set of wheels. I went with plastic because I don't plan to track the car right now, and I had never run hub-centric rings, so I didn't want to spend a fortune on nice metal ones. Now, the argument against the metal ones, obviously the argument for them would be that, you know, they're heat resistant. No matter how hot your brakes get, they should never melt. The argument against the metal ones, though, is they apparently are very well known for kind of corroding onto the hub, and they can be very difficult to get back off. Difficult to get back off and difficult to get off without destroying them. So that was also another reason I didn't go with the metal ones. And like I said, some of the companies that sell these claim they have track tested these and they did not have any issues with these melting. So I don't know that that would be an issue. I would also guess that if your brakes are getting hot enough to melt these hub-centric rings, you should be reconsidering the brake setup on your car. Personal opinion, that's not a professional opinion, that's just, if your brakes are getting that hot, maybe it's time to reconsider your braking setup or the ventilation to your braking setup. So, the composite ones, I feel like I've seen one or two companies that sell like some kind of hybrid composite one that's not all plastic. I don't know much about them. I don't know the benefits. There's a bunch of companies out there that sell them. Most aftermarket wheels do not come with these. I think maybe I've heard that some of the really expensive aftermarket wheels, like Rays and stuff, maybe they do, but I don't know that. I know my Koenigs did not come with these, and I think I paid, it was like $25 or less for the full set of 4. Exactly what size you need is, unfortunately, there's not really one good place to find that. You're going to have to find what the diameter of the hub on your car is, and then you're going to have to find the diameter of the inner diameter of your wheel. I was able to find the inner diameter of my wheel on the manufacturer website. I went to the Koenig website for these Koenig Heliums, and they had on the tech specs, it was listed right on the tech specs, so that made it easy. On mine, they are, let me see where it's printed. The inner diameter of the wheel on my car, I don't know if you could see that, is 73.1. And then the outer diameter of my hub on the car is, where is it at? 56.1. So now that is specific to a 4-lug mid-90s Honda Civic. I would guess an Integra is probably the same, but again, do your research. Don't just assume. Some of the companies, like I believe the one that I bought mine from, I believe they guarantee that if you buy the wrong size, you can return this, the whole setup, and they will exchange it for the correct size. I'm not definite on that. I bought mine from hub-centric. I bought mine from hub-centric-rings.com. Like I said, I believe, if I remember reading correctly, they had some kind of guarantee on there where if you buy the wrong ones, they'll replace them with the right ones. I don't know if you have to pay shipping. I don't know any of the details. But do your research, look around. Oh, and how do they install? Because this was another question that I had when I was looking into this, because I've never bought aftermarket wheels before, and they install really simple. Like I said, they have the lip, so they won't go all the way through. You just sit it down in there, and you just snap it in, and that's all there is to it. So, I hope that was helpful. Again, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a professional, but this was a subject that I had to look into when I went and bought aftermarket wheels for the first time, and there didn't seem to be a lot of information, and the information that was out there was kind of iffy and scattered. So I'm hoping that this helps somebody, maybe. Have a good day. Thank you for watching.